Thank you very much for joining us here today. I think the other speaker we're actually supposed to be having is not here right now. I don't know why, but let's just get the meeting started. I can actually see you having our champ. I mean, you actually just see, was that a wine? Or was that water?
Yeah, so it's champagne. It's real champagne, white wine, right? Sparkling wine, but it's
Oh,
made from the Reims region in France. So it's real champagne approved by the CIVC, and we're really excited to get cryptocurrency into the hands of other people with products. But we
oh,
can get into more all that in the second session. The first session is about us talking about how blockchain can enhance any type of industry in Africa, right? Like whether it be businesses or just anything. I got a lot of ideas as far as what we could dive into and talk about too.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much for that. So, let's quickly touch on short introduction. I've actually not introduced myself and you also. So, can you introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, for sure. My name's Tyler Duson. It might say Nebula Matrix on the screen, but that's just because Nebula Matrix is my primary email that I started with in the space whenever I was using the anonymity, right? Because when
Okay.
everybody starts in the space, they have the anonymity in their head.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to say my name, I don't want to show my face. So they come up with a PFP profile and all that until they get more comfortable with the space and understand it
Absolutely.
better, like how it works.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Nebula Matrix, that's my handle from whenever I first started. But my real name's Tyler Duson. I've been in the space for over 4 years, building with other different companies, just subcontracting for them, helping them figure out how to enhance their platform, their product with different blockchain protocols. I mostly was a partnership guy for these projects, such as interacting with other projects that could find synergy with their products or their platforms. And we would just kick off different ways how to collaborate, get the communities intertwined with one another. And the whole time while working with numerous different blockchain protocols, products, platforms, and services, I learned a lot about the industry and my passion grew immensely. So it didn't take long for me to dox myself. I turned my name publicly to Tyler Duson and I was showing my face. I was doing videos, podcasts, interviews. I think 3 months after me being announced as head of community growth for the first project that I was working for. But yeah, that's a little bit of background information about myself, how I got involved in the space, and what drove
Okay.
my passion to just start building.
Oh wow. That's actually nice. That's nice. I must actually say you have quite a nice background, I must say. So, you said it was Tyler Dawson, right?
Yes. And
Great,
funny
great,
thing,
great.
so I'm American, but my heritage is France or French, mostly
Wow.
French. I have a lot of Irish in my bloodline too. And that's why I love the whole ideology of us working with champagne, working in Reims, because that's our primary company and whatnot. But we can get into that all later.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, thank you very much for your brief intro. I also have a little bit of introduction. I'm Castin and I am a Nigerian and an African as a whole. This is CCU podcast, and what we just do here is we just actually talk. We talk fun. We talk about how you can help both the African community as a whole, I mean, the African crypto community as a whole, and the crypto industry as a whole. So that's just what we do here. And I am Nigerian. I am a student. You can actually see, I look young or something. So I am a student. I am still a scholar, but I actually do this because I have pure interest in this. Um, let's quickly touch on the topic. The topic we actually picked was Web3, digital products and fashion. The main reason why I actually picked this was because of what Champ actually has to offer to the Web3 space as a whole or to the crypto space as a whole. So, give us like an introduction about what Champ is, so we actually like start from there.
Yeah, for sure. Had to unmute my mic. I wanted to mute it to where there was no reverb from my end on whenever you were
Okay.
speaking because I wanted to be respectful. But yeah, man, Champ Association, it's much bigger than just champagne. That's why it's the Champ Association. So the Champ Association is a holding company currently. It's based out of Cayman Islands, but we're gonna have establishments global. So we'll have offices registered everywhere that we need to do business, primarily with warehouses and whatnot. So the main countries that you can think of, right? But like I was saying, Champ Association, it's a big project whenever you look at it from the outside looking in. But to narrow it down and briefly explain it, we have a utility token called Vignette. And Vignette is what you want to collect to essentially establish a multi-facet utility node. Now, we pride ourselves in this because it's actually the first of its kind. I know a lot of people say that, but it really is. We spent 3 years developing these protocols behind closed doors before even coming out in the open and telling people about it, because we just didn't want people stealing our utility protocols, because it was going to take so long to get everything set up, because we had to get our champagne approved by the CIVC. It's real champagne. We own the champagne rights through our champagne house. We don't own the champagne house. We're working with the champagne house, right? But no one else will be able to sell the St. Charles blend, which is the licensed blend that we have. So cutting through the chase, Crypto Champagne is the first subsidiary underneath the holding company. And the utility token enters the ecosystem via ICO through our actual multi-chain digital product. And it's the first company, to my knowledge, to ever do something like this. Most projects, they come out with their ICO strictly doing like a DEX and a private sale and all that stuff. Now, we will have a private sale with VCs, but it's going to be a small percentage. It's only going to be 2% of the 6% that's set aside from the whole total supply. And we have a unique way of making sure that the VCs won't dump on everyone's head. So basically, the VC, they have to be an accredited investor, all the guidelines that are universal, right? And once they meet those guidelines, they'll be able to invest, and their investment can be staked on our DEX to earn constant rewards. But if they ever want to sell their tokens before establishing a node of any sort, then they have to come to our holding company first and say, this is what it is at the open market, the price. Let's sign a contract and let y'all buy the tokens back from us. So that's what we're going to be doing, because we don't want our community to have the big VCs dumping on their head, especially whenever we can avoid that, because we're going to have mass revenue coming in and being held in our holding company to sustain market buys whenever necessary. So in a nutshell, Champ Association allows people to collect a utility token to earn rewards of the cryptocurrency displayed on every product. Because Crypto Champagne is the first subsidiary, but we're eventually going to have clothing. Like this is a Bitcoin shirt. I did not make this Bitcoin shirt. It was made by Hyperfavor. They're a company on Amazon. I'm not endorsed by them or anything. I just bought like 7 of their shirts and I love them. I'll wear them out in public to teach people about cryptocurrency. It's a great conversation starter. But I brought that up because we aspire to be essentially the LMVH group, like the Louis Vuitton and Moet Chanel group of blockchain. We want to sell luxury digital products that allow people to obtain cryptocurrency with no knowledge about cryptocurrency in an easy way. So that's what we're doing. The champagne bottle, it's 600 euros for one of the bottles, and you get rebated 250 euros in cryptocurrency. So 200 euros in our utility token, 50 euros in the token displayed on the bottle. So this is our Binance bottle right here. So if someone bought the limited rare Binance bottle in the first round, which there's only 1,000 rare bottles, so people are going to be fighting over them, then they'll get 50 euros of actual Binance token, the actual token, not a wrapped, not in atomic form. And that's another thing we pride ourselves in, which is why it's multi-chain digital products. We're not staying on just one chain and building. We're building on all the chains. We're supporting all chains, all cryptocurrencies, all communities. And the main reason why we wanted to start with Crypto Champagne as the primary subsidiary is because it's a celebration mechanism. So we tell people, if you hold the bottle and you wait to pop the bottle until all-time high, and you submit proof, and you scan the code on the back of the muselet, and for those who don't know what a muselet is, it's the capsule that sits on top of the cork when you open the champagne bottle. We're going to have a QR code on the back side of that muselet to where you can confirm the date and time that you open the code. And we might even have some extra rewards on that QR code for random people, but I won't get into that now because that's too far in the future. Let's kind of keep it simple. So basically, people pop the bottle at all-time high, scan the code, enter it on their account, their Web2, Web3 account on our platform to validate, and then they also make a video of them popping the bottle. Preferably, we prefer people to use a saber because it's very big in Europe for people to saber champagnes in celebrations. So we're eventually going to have savoring competitions too. But let's get back to what I was talking about with the all-time high. So if people pop the bottle at all-time high and they show the video and they show proof, then they'll get an airdrop, like a bonus of our Vignette token for celebrating with the community. So that's the main reason why we went with champagne, and that's kind of our company in a nutshell. I know that's a lot to take in at once, but we still have a lot more to go over, honestly.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tyler. I can actually refer to you as Tyler, right? For short?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Please,
great,
by all
great, great.
means.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think you actually covered most of it. You covered most of it. Actually, we're looking at a topic which is saying digital products and fashion. So where you guys are coming in is you are actually like portraying uh like the Web 2 world into the Web 3. You're bringing like a product which is the champagne of the Web 2 world that we actually have, for instance. Then you're bringing it into the Web 3 world with utilities added with it, like the Binance coin that you actually mentioned right now. You said you're actually gonna be also having the Binance coin, which is the real Binance coin, as an utility with your product, of which this is actually quite amazing. I mean, you as a person, I mean, just like as if I'm just buying my okay, let's leave this out. Let's say you're actually buying a car right now. So you're buying the Tesla car right now, for instance. So you bought it for at the rate of $10,000. So then the next thing, Tesla now actually had an utility for you. Then they'll be like, okay, you actually have a certain percent of the Tesla shares. Let me say $500 or $1,000 worth of the Tesla shares from your purchase of the car. So this is one of like the major things that we actually have in the Web3 world. Because the Web3 world is big and it's broad. The more you actually adapt to it, the more it enlarges and keeps going on and on and on and on. For instance, now we have NFTs. I don't know you actually like didn't really touch on the NFTs aspect, but this is also part of the digital products and the fashion. I mean, and NFTs are actually key components. Like for instance, we have the Board H Yacht Club. The BAYC, right? The Bondage Watch Club and the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. I mean, those NFTs that actually like have been the god of NFTs that actually like skyrocketed. I mean, punks, for instance, now, if you're looking at those people, they're having utilities added to them, they're having shirts, they're having drinks, they're having other things that actually added to them. So I must say, Champ as a whole has actually like gone like worldwide, and it has gone big. So do you have any other addition before we move over to the next segment?
Yeah, sorry for the short delay. I had my mic muted again. While you were talking about the Bored Ape Yacht Club and the mutants and whatnot, I flashed a little image on the background. It was our Bored Ape Yacht Club character. So I left out a huge part of our multi-chain physical products and how we're incorporating the Web 2 world into the Web 3. So Bored Ape Yacht Club is actually one of our brands that we're supporting in the first bottle threshold sale, the ApeCoin community. So essentially, when people buy the bottle of champagne, they also get a metaverse NFT character for our flagship metaverse. And long story short, our metaverse is essentially going to be Farmville, but Vineyard Simulator style. So you take these characters and you put them on the grape trellis, for example. The vigneron will work the grape trellis. And the vigneron, depending on which type of grape you tell him to make or her, then it will take X amount of time, whether it's an hour, 4 hours, 8 hours. And that's all you have to do. You make that one execution, click the button, put them to work, and then you come back and you collect the resource. So after you get all the characters to work and they each create their resources that are required to make an actual champagne blend, such as the grapes, the wood to make the wooden barrel, the sugar to control the dosage, whether it's dry or like a brut and all that, right? And so many other different ingredients that are in our game that allow you to do unique things and control the overtones and undertones of the champagne. So what's really exciting is our metaverse is the first, to my knowledge, that allows people to build towards white labeled brands. Now, the metaverse isn't out yet. We're going to have to build it, but we're the first ones to come up with that concept and actually start building towards it. So I'm very proud of that. I am. I mean, we give people the capability to use the NFT characters, make an actual in-game blend of champagne, and then at the end of the year, they could pay a fee, which we confirmed with our champagne house already, which is huge because that's a huge undertaking. We're gonna give them the capability to pay 3,000 to 5,000. It might end up going to like 7,000 euros, depending on the type of blend that they're making and the wood, because it's going to be varietal, right? But it'll cost him between 3,000 to, let's say, 7,000 euros to make a mini barrel. And for those of you who don't know, a full big barrel of champagne or wine of any sort is usually around 50,000 to 250,000 euros to get it made in production. Now, of course, you get a lot of bottles from that and you can make money off of the production and whatnot, but it's just to put in a realization what we're doing here. So we're going to try to make barrels. Well, no, we're not trying. We're doing it. We're making barrels a tenth the size of regular barrels. And the people who pay those fees, they'll have them stipend in our champagne houses warehouse inventory. And at the end of the stipending period, whether it's a year or 2 years, whatever that consumer who built that NFT product blend type basically determines whenever they're paying for it, we'll have a board of vintners and sommeliers come in and taste all of the different barrels, all the different blends. And we'll pick, we haven't decided how many blends yet. It started off at one, but then it was like, no, we got to pick more than one because it's just such a big thing. You can't just pick one. So we're thinking in between 5 to 10 blends that we'll choose per year. But whoever gets chosen, their blend will get mass produced. We'll spend the money to make mass production of their blend in the champagne house with their recipe. And when a consumer goes onto our multi-chain digital NFT website to purchase these champagne bottles, they could choose which blend they want inside the bottle. That's going to be after the first bottle threshold sale, of course. We're only going to have the St. Charles blend in the first bottle threshold sale. But that's what's so exciting about our whole organization. And we intend to do this with every single industry that you can imagine. So whiskey, vodka, we're going to come out with all the spirits eventually, and they're all going to have vignette utility because it all started from the vine. So it's going to continue from the vine. And that's what vignette means in French. So that's a little bit of background information about why we choose the nomenclature, like the naming and phrasing behind the tokenomics in the token utility as well. So
Okay.
I hope y'all can tell we put a lot of passion into this, thought, time, and
Yeah.
we're just so excited to teach everybody about the cryptocurrency.
Yo, you're actually absolutely right. Something I actually wanted to point out, over here in the podcast I'm actually doing right now, we have like some Nigerians that are not on the like the Web3 world. They're actually still in the Web2 world. They're actually still stuck, but we like help them come about to the Web3 world, come about into cryptocurrency and know how things work. But now you're actually offering something. I mean, there's no way, at least out of the population of the people over here in Nigeria, like I would say like 70 to 80% people are actually gonna be taking the champagne, at least for instance, or wines or beers or I mean fruit drinks or things like that. Now, the thing is, how do you plan on like getting these people to like see what you're offering, to see that okay, me purchasing the wine, for instance, is something that is okay, that is worth it, and something that I think I would continue to do. For instance, we also have the low class people, we have the middle class people, and we have the high class people. So if you're actually looking into those range of people, what would you actually say that Champ Associates would actually like be able to do towards this association?
That's a marvelous question, man. And we have thought of that. So we have multiple grades of products. We have the sleeve product type, which has no cryptocurrency whatsoever attached. It's just the champagne bottle, and it's the cheapest variation. It's 64 euros, and it just represents the actual currency. So you have a nice keepsake. You can celebrate with other people. And what we really like about our whole business model and that can benefit those who can't afford the more expensive luxury products and kind of join the association in that aspect, they can become an affiliate for our association. So we have an affiliate program that allows people to have an affiliate link whenever they create an account on our platform. And if they sign people up to learn about cryptocurrency through our multi-chain digital products, such as setting up an account and allowing that person who does have the money to purchase the cryptocurrency, then they'll get rewarded for each bottle they sold. So the sleeve bottle gives them a little bit, the common gives them a little bit more, the rare gives them a little bit more, and the exotic gives them the most reward, depending on which type of bottle they sell. It's graduated. So people who can't afford to purchase the products in our ecosystem, but they still want to get involved and they want to help educate the world around them and eventually get in themselves slowly from the rewards that they accumulate, they can. It's no cost to set up an account. You set up an account, you get your affiliate link, and then you'll be able to educate other people, allow them to buy, and you'll be able to earn stable tokens or different forms of cryptocurrency through your affiliate program, because we are a holding company and we can hold all these cryptocurrencies. So it doesn't matter to us which cryptocurrency the affiliate wants to receive, or if they just want to receive a stable token like USDC or USDT. We'll allow that. So they'll be able to obtain any cryptocurrency that they want from the monetization of the sales that they complete for our organization. And another thing is, like I was saying, we're going to have other subsidiaries, and we plan to launch subsidiaries that are more cost affordable for different regions, such as products that are like anywhere between $1 to like $10, like cheap products. And once we, yeah, like once we get to that level, man, we'll be able to have warehouses all in the countries that we have new businesses established, like actual extensions established in that country, to where we can do business just easier legally, right? Because that's why everybody always sets up extensions of their offices in other countries, to where they could do business differently in that country, have tax breaks or whatever it might be. Sometimes you need to establish an office in that country before you can even sell certain types of products, depending on what type of product it is, because the government of that country doesn't allow certain products to come in and out without licenses being approved first. So it's a big undertaking to do what we've done, but that's why we're starting from the ground up. And we started with champagne because we believe it's the best product to start off with, being that it's a celebration mechanism. And we do understand it's expensive compared to other products, but that's part of the luxury, part of the fashion, and we will slowly reduce the barriers of mass adoption for the people who can't afford the luxury products high end in the beginning.
You actually like mentioned you mentioned a lot of key points, and I would actually like loved us to continue, but I would want us to start the other part of the session. So I will just raise the points I want to actually raise over there, so that the meeting actually does not end abruptly. Are you good with that? Okay, great, thank you. Aha, you can hear me,
Sorry
right?
about that.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
sorry about that. I was
okay.
typing a message over to my co-founder, letting them know that we got done with the first segment and we're hopping into the second one now.
Okay, yeah, we're good, we're good. So, you actually mentioned something, right there. You mentioned something about having to cover up, products around the $1 to $10 range. Over here in Nigeria, I would actually I want to actually break this thing down for you, because here in Nigeria, the dollar rate to naira rate is quite high. For instance, you're actually having $1 and it's actually equal to I think around 900 and something naira over here in Nigeria. So if you're actually looking at okay, I want to like purchase a product, except for we that are actually in the cryptocurrency, or that actually into other products, I mean other things that are actually outside the country. That is when we actually like we can see that okay, the currency is actually good for us, that it's actually quite good to earn in other currencies, not earning in the Nigeria. I'm not trying to like destabilize my country's currency, for instance, but I'm just saying it to you because it's quite high, except for the people on the moderate level. I mean, people that actually like in the space, I mean, in the Nigerian space, that have what it takes. So That is also another aspect because if you are looking into marketing, you will know who you would want to like market to. Like, is I mean, I would love to like market to this person that okay, this person can actually like okay, buy it or purchase it. I mean, I just don't want to like waste my efforts of like doing the marketing to you. Like, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So I would want to like do the marketing to someone that would actually like okay, that was someone that would like to give a little value in for what we are doing. I mean, like you mentioned also something about the affiliates now. Now, I can actually see that the people on the low income level can actually like look forward into participating in something like that. So they would also carry the affiliate link. I mean, they might actually have, there's no way, if you're actually a low class person, there's no way you might actually have an high class person as a friend, for instance, or you might have an high class person as a boss. So you will just carry up your affiliate link and you'll be like, okay, hello, boss. I have some people that would have one of the best, I mean, one of the best champagnes you might want to like have a taste of. So you drop in the affiliate link and that's it. It's actually like earning from his own side. Now, I want to touch on just one last step. You know, over here in Nigeria, in the big clubs, I know you might have actually like you might actually go to club, I mean, do parties and some other things. There's something we call the Azul. I mean, Azul. Azul. It's pronounced as that. So that Azul, the way it actually works is that they actually bring it in. When they bring it in, they put like all lights, like as if how do I put it? How do I explain it? So like as if it's the gods of all drinks. So they actually call it in. They'll be like, okay, something like this, like some recommendations, some lighting, some effects that okay, they're actually bringing this drink in. It was ordered by so person. They like hype up the person that also ordered it, then they usher it in. I mean, if champ associates can actually like have their drinks brought into Nigeria and put on that skill. I mean, people would no longer like see that Azul as one of the highest drinks that you would want to like go for as class. They would want to see Champ Associate as something that okay, I would want to like order this in the club, and people would be like, whoa. I've actually ordered one of the biggest drinks that are actually in the club. I want to like spend my money and show that this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I hope you understand what I'm trying to pass across.
Yeah, so really quick, let me chime in and give my opinion on that. I love how you connected the spirit life, like the drinks, with your region and how it can enhance your area with our tokenomic model and business model that we're employing with the champagne. And you're absolutely right. Each region has their own drink that they love to celebrate with and just make friends with. For example, in America, because I'm an American, Mississippi, for those who don't know, next to New Orleans, it's in the southeast near Louisiana, Florida. But we're known for moonshine down south. Back in the Prohibition days, whenever they made it illegal, we weren't taking no shit. Excuse my French. Not me, my ancestors, right? They got their little tin and metal and they started fermenting their own moonshine. That's our heritage in the South. That's what everybody loves to drink and love to find the best of. And it's cool because it's still kind of one of those things to where it's hidden because it's kind of like illegal to make moonshine, still because it's so strong and there's so many different things behind it. You have to get licensed and you got to get approved. But yeah, getting back to what you were saying with the Azul, that would be an awesome drink to make for the African region. And we, like I was saying, we want to add every spirit eventually. So the whiskey, the moonshine, Azul, Crete, for those of you who are watching that are Greek, the blockchain that we're building on, they're based out of Greece. And last time I was excuse me, last time I was at their Volcon 3 conference. Vulcan Forge is the project I'm referencing. They have the Elysium network, the blockchain. But last time I was there, I was just mingling with all the different just developers and C-suite people on Vulcan Forge. And Joanna, she's a really nice woman over there. She works and she helps the project coordinate marketing and just business efforts with Elysium. But Joanna, she was mentioning how Crete is their drink, and it would be awesome if we implemented Crete in our product line eventually. So exactly what you're saying. We totally want to have the crypto Azul. crypto Crete, crypto moonshine, crypto whiskey, and just keep on going on with it. And again, I want to reiterate, I do believe in having multiple tokens in the ecosystem, but it's always important to have your utility token utilized the most. So we will have our utility token always attached to these new spirits that we come out with. So in essence, the difference in the new products compared to the current products, we have 20% of the supply set aside, the total supply to attach to actual champagne bottles when people purchase them. And with the static reflection module that we have with our token contract, 3.3% tax, that wallet that's holding the 20% total supply, as people are buying and selling, the 3.3% tax will go, well, 20% of it in essence will go towards that wallet holding the vignette tokens, attaching it to the champagne bottles. So as people are buying and selling our token, the wallet that puts the tokens to the bottles naturally reimburses. So we won't have to spend extra money on market buying the tokens, and it just helps the economy in a sense. That goes for our tokens. We'll always be market buying the token displayed on the bottle, though, with the euros that are coming in. That's the primary utility. But like I was saying with the Azul, crypto Azul, when we come out with that, it'll be rewarding the 200 euros of vignette. It wouldn't be 200 euros of Azul, for example, because we would want to keep the liquidity flowing into our primary governance utility token. Because I just dislike when I see ecosystems coming out with multiple tokens, because it's like, which one does the community support? Which one do they need to hold to obtain the revenue rewards from each company underneath the actual holding company? So that's why we did it like that, because we want to make it make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then it's not going to work. And the only time we'll come out with new tokens is when we have a metaverse attached to that product. So Vineyard Vocations, that's the name of our flagship metaverse that has the characters attached to the champagne bottles. Who knows? We might come out with crystals in Azul, because Africa is known really well for crystals. And crystals in Azul might be a metaverse for mining crystals and fermenting the products to make Azul. And that's another topic I wanted to talk about earlier, about how Africa can implement blockchain technology. Man, y'all are like the biggest area for crystal mining. I was talking with a project, Project 79, I believe was their name. Really cool project. They've been going on for a little while now. They have some skin in the game, and they have licensing. So they have actual license and contracts with Africa. Like I was talking about earlier, like depending on what business you do in a country, you got to get licensed and contracts. Well, they have the contracts and license to actually mine legally in Africa. So they're mining all of these different precious metals and crystals. They were referencing gold in the space that I was participating in previously about a week ago. But they're doing all different types of mines. And this is what Africa can do. Africa can come out with multiple different NFTs that represent the actual crystal being mined or the bullion being mined, or they could fractionalize the property that's owned by the company mining, and whoever owns the NFTs get a fraction of the revenue obtained. Well, it would probably have to be profit for them, because that's more harder to work around with that industry. We base everything off of revenue because we took the time to actually make sure that people get portions of the revenue, because I disagree with rewarding profits. Like in the stock market, it's all about dividends. I hate the stock market because, no offense to anybody who loves it, but it's all bullshit. Excuse my French. Like it's bullshit. You get a stock and then they tell you get a dividend, but at the end of the year, they could say that they made X amount of profit, so they don't have to give you a dividend. What in the hell? How does that make sense? Like, so I don't know. I just kind of wanted to throw that out there for people who are always thinking along the lines of stock market's the most legit. Yeah, they're the most legit at lying to you. Crypto usually rewards people the most without even like it's just crazy. I mean, you do have your projects out there that come and go, but the ones that are really there to build stuff, you can tell, and it's all in the blockchain, and like it's all transparent. And that's why we love the blockchain, because you can't revert an irrefutable contract as long as it's a decentralized network, and the majority of the nodes, like less than 50%, are owned by one entity.
Okay, thank you very much for what you just said. You mentioned something about you like going for countries. I mean, like, over here in Nigeria, we are battling. Would I actually say is a battle? We are actually battling crypto regulations, just like the way it's actually going on in the United States of America. I mean, crypto regulations are also going on here. You can actually purchase Bitcoin with your bank directly. You would be banned and your funds will be seized immediately. So we actually have to we have to actually go through the P2P. That was the reason why Binance also looked forward into introducing the peer-to-peer transactions. So you can just do that via escrow and some other things. And another thing is, while actually like importing and exporting, they also have regulations. So if you are the kind of person that are not following the right path and you're not paying your tax or whatever tax that actually they are adding to the produce or whatever. So they would put a ban on your products, or if your product is not having like the proper licensing number at the border where they're actually supposed to like cross-check the products, they will just impose a bound on it and they'll call a bounty on the person. That's the way Nigeria actually does over here. So let's move away from that. About the licensing and other things like that. Can you actually tell us if like any crypto auditing platform has actually like had to I mean, have you actually gone through any crypto auditing platform? I mean, they can actually like KYC your platform that sorry. I mean, they can actually like give you like a certified KYC that okay, you've actually passed medium that you're actually like free to use. I don't know if you understand me. I'm just asking this for like security purposes. Okay.
I completely understand you. And that's another thing that we do pride ourselves in. The whole time while we were setting up our organization, we wanted to make sure that we were 100% compliant with any government regulation. So what we did was we took the time to look for KYC integrations and how we can implement that in our business model without being too invasive on the consumers. So long story short, when you sign up for an account on Champ Association, once the real platform will be there, because the platform that's there right now is the demo site. I created that whole site myself. It took 8 months. I used WordPress, page builders, plugins, and that's why it's so slow and it's not the right infrastructure. But we're using the funds raised from the NFT sale and the VC rounds to hire the tech team that we've been in discussions with. We've spoken with over 12 tech teams, gotten quotes from all of them, and all of them are great. So we're narrowed down to the top 3 now, and all of them are capable of doing exactly what I'm about to explain. So when you sign up for an account on our platform, you will be able to log in or sign up with your social login, such as Facebook, X, or a Gmail account, whatever email you want. And now your account will be created. You're not forced to KYC upon account creation because we do have some products that don't have cryptocurrency attached, like the sleeve bottles. So people can purchase those products without KYCing if they're not comfortable with KYCing and joining our project in that aspect, but they could still support our project and the other ones. But if somebody puts a product inside of their cart during checkout that is a luxury product that has smart contracts attached, whether it's an NFT or NFTs and tokens, multiple different types being airdropped to their account, they're going to have to KYC. They're going to have to use a some sub KYC. Some sub is the top of the line out there. It's what all the best platforms are using. And that's what that was the recommendation from the top 3 tech teams that we've been in discussion with.
Yeah.
All of them recommended sub. So we're going to go with some sub. It's more expensive than the other competitors, not by much, but it's the best. So we're going to go with them. And one thing I wanted to touch on really quick, you were talking about the products coming in and out of Africa, and man, this is going to be music to your ears. So one thing I failed to mention, which I'm upset at myself about in the beginning, I should have mentioned this. We have an NFC chip behind the logo of the bottle. So you can see the Binance logo. It actually sticks out. That's a metal film plate pasted on top of the painted bottle. Like that's an actual painted bottle. It's not a sleeve. All the luxuries are painted in nice and metallic. But behind that metal logo that's like embossed on top of it, there's an NFC, which is the near field communication chip. That's what NFC is for everybody who's wondering what NFC is and they've heard that term. So what that chip allows people to do is you can download an application. There's plenty of tooltip applications out there that companies can download and utilize and integrate within their business model. You don't have to recreate the wheel. And that's what I recommend to people getting into the business new, like trying to come into Web3 and they're already Web2. Look for third parties that are reputable and can help you implement that type of stuff. Don't try to go recreate the wheel. So when people download the app and they scan the bottle, they like if here's the bottle and they just put their phone up to the bottle, they're gonna see something come up and it's gonna say click here. And you'll be able to view and verify, essentially authenticate all the contents that were delivered to the consumer, and it authenticates via NFC on the blockchain. These tokens were delivered to this address. These NFTs were attached to the product and also delivered to the address, of which, if it's a product that requires proof of licensing, the company can also attach an NFT of the license. So if they are getting stopped at an embargo, well, embargo is not the right term, because usually that's whenever people get blocked off. But like whenever you're coming in at a shipping area, like at a port, and they're scanning that through customs, whatever country it might be, they could scan it, see the license, and then boom, all right, it's authenticated. We see that this is a license owned by company registration, blah, 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 registered in this company. Here's also their company registration number, their VAT number to prove that they're paying taxes, everything that you mentioned earlier. And that's the answer, all within the matter of seconds, putting the phone up to the NFC chip and
Wow.
validating and authenticating.
I must actually say that was like some thoughts for you actually introducing NFC. That is quite amazing. Trust me. That is quite amazing. Like seriously. So I also forgot to mention over there in the border or whatever they will actually call it, those that actually like carrying the goods in, I mean at the shipments or just like what you said, they actually like they scan most of those projects. I don't know, possibly they actually like stamped with okay the order of the products or whatever NAFTAC or license plating that's supposed to be on the products. They actually like scan it and they actually check it. So I think that scanner they're actually using is also an NFC scanner. So I think it will be quite easy for them. So they can just scan it up and check the products, I mean the goods or the product. So let's quickly move over to another aspect. You said you're actually starting up with champagne, for instance, and you said you'll be covering up other products along the run. I mean, looking into fashion, you said like your shirt, for instance, I mean, where you actually purchased that from. I mean, I love that Bitcoin logo, man, I must say. So if you're actually looking into fashion over here, we have the Gucci. I mean, everyone actually knows Gucci, everyone knows Balenciaga, everyone knows other things like that. You know, fashion is not only limited into, I mean, the physical world. Fashion is also into, I mean, avatars. I mean, the metaverse avatars. I mean, whatever they are wearing, fashion is also there. I mean, you actually playing an augmented reality game or a virtual reality game, for instance. So I wanted to know if you're actually looking into fashion, would you look into also the metaverse games? I mean, looking at the fashion, the NFTs or the avatars you're actually gonna be putting on. Do you also plan on like looking into this?
Man, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. Yes, 100%. We're looking into that in every aspect possible. So whether it's clothable or clothing wearables for the avatars, such as making this Bitcoin shirt that's made by Hyperfavor, 100 editions in the metaverse, only 100 editions. They all start off at, let's say, I don't know, 10 vignette or however many vignette tokens. People buy it. Now it has a floor. And now everybody wants that Bitcoin shirt because you have one, I have one, and CZ from Binance has one. So everybody wants one, right? So now the price starts going up, and that avatar can wear their clothing in the metaverse if they own that NFT that represents the clothing. So 100%, you can have it to where, let's say, when we do come out with our clothing brand and we have our own Bitcoin shirts and we sell them for X amount of money, whenever you buy that actual shirt, you could also get an NFT of that shirt to where your avatar will have it in game. And then once that product line goes out, like it gets discontinued in a sense, and it becomes a vintage clothing because we come out with new clothing and we want to make those old ones more rare. Somebody could literally put their shirt in a shadow box like people do with jerseys, keep it in pristine condition, hold the NFT on their account, and then let's say 5 years from now, after another halvening, well, that would actually be two halvenings because we have another halvening coming up in April of 2024. So 5 years would be two halvenings. So let's say 5 years from now, after two halvenings, and the price just goes crazy. And now you have these shirts, and everybody's wanting those shirts because maybe the shirt NFT in the metaverse provides a certain utility to where you get discounts at vendors who are selling products inside the metaverse, which is also going to be big because we plan to have a local hub to where we have a country club, like a crypto chateau in our metaverse that people can go meet at and buy products of partners that are in our association. So Vulcanverse, for example, they're our biggest partner. They're the blockchain that we're building on natively with our Vignette token and NFTs. So we're going to totally have a whole bunch of different Vulcan forged merchandise and all sorts of stuff to support them. But we're also going to have stuff for Binance, stuff for Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency community that you can think of, and allow the people who have those wearables that they obtain from buying the multi-chain physical to get discounts on the partner products by having NFTs of ours. And that's where you're going to see the NFT space really take off, especially for big events like soccer or well, football. It's really called football. We call it soccer in America, but it's really called football. It was here first, you know. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. You mentioned events right now. I wanted to actually ask, why are you not in the token 2049? I mean, Singapore events. It would have actually been an amazing thing. You carrying your I mean the champagne over there. I mean, just like showing it out to people. I mean, some people might actually just buy it from you from the event. So why didn't you like go for the events talking 2049?
First and foremost, thank you, man. That's a huge compliment. And that's exactly what we want to do once we get everything completely taken off. So the reason why we didn't go to the conference is because we're preparing for our NFT character launch, which is coming up really soon. Vulcan Forge, they're helping us with minting the NFTs on their blockchain, the Elysium network. And essentially the way that it's going to work is everybody who has one of the pre-sale NFT characters, they'll be able to buy up to 3 rare brands of the limited bottles in the whitelisting round of the bottle sale, which could happen in either the ending of December or sometime around the halvening. It just depends on how quick the tech team is going to be able to develop the platform from concept to Figma and all that. Because they gave us an estimation of 12 to 22 weeks for everything to be there, as far as somebody being able to make an account, have an affiliate link from the start, and monetize their network while selling bottles for the network. Because everybody who collects the tokens, they're going to be basically networking for themselves. Because if they have a node and they're earning revenue from bottles sold, not only are they going to be earning revenue from their affiliate link from the bottles that they sell, but they'll also earn an extra bonus from the rewards going to their node. And they'll earn money from all the other people who are selling bottles if they have a node. So that's what excites me most about our project. But the reason why we didn't go to token 2049 is because we're just preparing for everything right now. But the CEO of Vulcan Forge, Jamie Thompson, he's over there. He's been mingling with everybody. They got a really big thing going on. He was featured on Hourglass. The Hourglass is the name of the company. I said that backwards. Excuse me. Hourglass is the name of the company, and they produced. It's already produced the next crypto gem. It's a big TV show that's pretty much like Shark Tank, but for cryptocurrency. And another show is Killer Whales. They're also at Token 2049. But yeah, Jamie, he's featured in the first season, and he's in the top 4. Vulcan Forge is in the top 4 of yeah, it's getting heated. They got done with the first episode last week. The second episode's coming out no wait. Yeah, no, today. Sorry, sometimes I get mixed up with the days because I work so many hours internationally, like up and down different hours of the day. But yeah, it's gonna air today, the second episode. So it's a cool segment, the no corners. Let me let you talk. You look like you're trying to say something. I've been going on.
Yeah, well, I'm actually like not really saying anything. I mean, we're actually like reaching the end of the podcast. So I don't actually do this, but I would like, I don't know if possible you can actually like share your screen about, I mean the Champ website. Possibly you can show us some of the details on the Champ website. Okay, I think you're muted. Can you hear me? I think you're muted.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
for letting me
okay,
know.
okay.
But that's a cool little feature when someone hovers over the button. The Frank Sinatra song "Fly Me to the Moon" plays. It's one of my favorite songs. I'm an oldie. I like old school music.
Yeah.
Fly me to the moon. But this is the page where you can go to learn about the NFTs that we're selling for the pre-sale. It's a little GIF. We show multiple different variations of the bottles being sold and how the characters are associated with each bottle, just to paint the full picture of how it's going to be when the multi-chain digital marketplace is live. Because remember, if you want to buy NFT characters, you're going to have to buy the bottle. That's what makes the whole concept so unique. So you have the common bottle, the rare bottle, and the exotic bottle. And the way that it works is each character gives more XP per hour. And if you gain more XP, you gain more bubbly tokens, which is the gaming token of this metaverse. And that's the way most metaverses work. Based upon the XP that you earn within that hour, you earn the amount of utility token in that ecosystem. So, long story short, imagine if the company put 1,000 tokens of their utility token in a pool. And within that hour, there was, let's say, 1,000 players, and everybody earned one XP. Everybody would earn one utility token. So that's the concept of how metaverse gaming works in the easy way to explain it. Um, but yeah, so the NFT pre-sale is essentially the white list to get into the bottle sale. If you own one NFT, then you'll be able to purchase up to 3 rare blends. So you could purchase 3 of Polygon, or 1 Polygon, 1 Ethereum, and 1 VeChain, for example. And we have interactive tabs here, so you can click through everything. Like I said, it takes a little while for things to load sometimes because it's not auto scaled the best and whatnot. We're gonna let the tech teams handle that. Um, but yeah, this is it from the outward looking in. We also have a cool raffle lottery. So every
Okay,
NFT that you buy will count as one raffle ticket. And if you collect one of each character type, so there's 10 different character types. So if you
okay.
collect one of each character type, you get 5 bonuses. And if you collect
Wow.
one of each character, basically all 16 characters, then you get 15 bonus tickets. And they don't compound. So basically, if you bought let's say 32 NFTs, 2 of each, you wouldn't get 10 and then 30. You would only get the 5 and 15 and then the 32. But yeah, the NFTs are also like a raffle ticket for the prize pool. So essentially what we're doing here is we're taking some of the bottles from the limited sale that's coming up, and putting it in here. So we have exotic bundles. We're taking one Champ Association exotic bundle and making it the top prize for the raffle event. And I didn't get into the exotic bundles, but I'll go into that right now because it's actually really unique and cool. So here's the exotic bundles. It's 5 of that bottle. And the coolest part of the exotic bundles and why we created them, you have a 2% chance of winning an all expense paid trip exotic excursion. So we haven't made our mind up yet if it's going to be a 5 or 7 day trip. We'll finalize all that before we do the sale for the bottles, obviously. But it's going to be a 5 to 7 day trip to where you go to the Gorge de Verdon. It's kind of like the Grand Canyon of France, but it's full of water. for Americans who know the Grand Canyon, or anybody who knows the Grand Canyon and doesn't know the Gorget de Verdon. But we're also going to go to the Bordeaux. It's basically like Bourbon Street in France, but for wine. That's the easiest way I can think of explaining it to people who are wine lovers and know of New Orleans. Um, and just the biggest, coolest thing of the whole event will be touring the vineyard of where our champagne house is, and how everything gets made. So when people show up, we'll have keys to a Lambo waiting for them, and we'll have a documentary series going, and everybody will basically drive their Lambo to the vineyard and range. We'll get out like looking all cool and all that stuff, right? Like entourage. Yeah, and just have some really cool kick-ass times, man. So
Yeah.
that's what the exotic bundles are all about. And the way that you know if you win, it's like Willy Wonka, dude. If if you get the cool champagne glasses or the other type of items we're going to put in there, we're still contemplating what items we want to put into the exotic bundles that reward the trip, but it's totally going to be champagne glasses that have our logo on it. That's going to be there for sure. Cuff links might be another thing. A tie chain to keep the tie close. Handkerchief pocket squares, just small luxury, and some female stuff. We'll throw in maybe like some earrings or something, or so just ideas of what classifies that bundle as being the one that wins. You get heirlooms, digital heirlooms that also come with an NFT that you could sell in the marketplace later. So multiple forms of utility put into all this, a lot of time and thought put into it. And I'm just so ready to launch it all, man. It's been 3+ years, and it's going to be so epic. It's going to allow everybody to get in easy.
I must say, you guys have actually been building for a while now. So I'm hoping for the best for you guys, because I must say, you also picking Vulcan Forged as the official place you're actually gonna be building on is also quickly, I mean, it's pretty great. I mean, I started following Vulcan Forged on Twitter since last year, and I was seeing what they've been building so far. I mean, I must say it's actually great because I mean, you're actually searching it right now. You see, I know of Elysium, I know of the game. I mean, the Elysium blockchain in the future. Yeah, I actually know of that one. I mean, bro, it's quite cool, bro. I mean, just me actually looking like this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And I'm hoping for the best. So, we're actually moving over to the ending of the session. So, do you actually have like any closing remarks you would like to leave us to? Man,
Yes,
take
indeed, man. I
yeah.
so I see this spinning world, and I want to touch on Metascapes really quick. So Metascapes is the beautiful world that Vulcan Forge has been created, and that allows you to essentially make your own metaverse with a click of a few buttons. They have AIs hooked up to this masterpiece to allow you to type in what you want to build, and it'll build it for you. So, long story short, Metascapes is going to be the world that people can go in, build their own world, and bring in their Web2 products into the Web3 world and sell them. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to monetize our plot in Metascapes by having a life-size champagne bottle. Imagine a life-size champagne bottle of Vulcan Forge being on our plot, being huge, like like the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty size, something that nature. And you'll be able to actually walk inside of excuse me, you'll be able to actually walk inside of the champagne bottle through the logo. So it'll be a spinning portal looking really cool to where you can still see the logo of the currency displayed. You'll walk inside the portal, and then it'll be an actual building inside with champagne shelves to where basically on the first bottle threshold sale, it'll have the first brands. Then the second floor will be the next brands. So you could kind of follow along the story and see which brands entered first, and there'll be a spiral staircase going all the way up to the top of the bottle
Okay.
with a champagne flute to where people can basically see the champagne getting filled in the bottles. And they'll be able to buy the bottles from the actual metaverse store from our
Wow.
marketplace. So, yeah.
Well, I must actually say I actually had a question towards what you just talked about right now. Well, you already covered it. The question was that, for instance, you're actually having a metaverse game. So you're having, I mean, you're having Champ as one of the drinks that you can order, or I mean, or you can buy in this metaverse game. So you can just go to the bar. I mean, you want to like take a metaverse drink, I mean, a virtual reality game, sorry, or an augmented reality game. I mean, and you would love to like buy a drink over there. So you can just go there, take the champ, purchase it, and once you purchase it, just have it and you start drinking it virtually, but not in the real life, but virtually. But you also have to pay some certain, I mean, amounts. It might actually be the real amounts or not the real amounts. So, thank you very much, Mr. Tyler. It has actually been an amazing session talking with you and talking about your project and also Web3, fashion, and digital world as a whole. So, I am Casting, and this is CCU podcast. I mean, we've actually come to an end. We've used over an hour. Originally, we actually supposed to have one more guest join us, but I think she didn't join. So we're gonna be like closing up without her. So do you have any other thing to add before we just like shut it up completely?
Man, I could
Oh,
talk for hours and days about what we're building, but I think we've covered enough. And if you ever want to have me back just to talk about what's going on in the world with blockchain, how we can enhance stuff within Africa, even stuff outside of Champ Association, if you just want to have a chat, I'm always willing to get on and just talk about blockchain.
okay, okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Tyler. Thank you very much. It's actually been an amazing session so far. I'm so sorry my video went out. I actually like I went low on I mean on power supply, but we're good. We've actually covered a lot of spaces today. I mean within the short time, we've actually been able to touch on a lot of points, I must say. So thank you very much today for joining us and for giving us your time to talk about Web3 as a whole and also a little bit of education. So we hope to see you some other time. Possibly we will be able to talk more, or it might actually be on your project, or it might actually not be on your project, but we're going to talk. So thank you very much for joining, and that's a wrap.